Now to this Columbia University PhD student who fled the country shortly after immigration and customs enforcement agents came to her door last week. She's finally speaking out. Ranjani Srinivasan flew to Canada in the days following the detention of recent graduate Mahmoud Khalil. She is disputing allegations that she advocated for violence and terrorism. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano spoke exclusively to her and joins us now from Studio 55. Lilia, good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
So break down for our audience who, again, I always want people who are just tuning into us to understand what exactly happened here. What is she being accused of, and what did she say she actually did?
That's a very good question because, Vlad, in the communications from the government to her, she received an email from the consulate in Chennai in India, where she's from, saying that her student visa had been revoked. That information had come up, but no direct information, nothing specifically, linking her to anything. What we know from DHS is they're pointing to a couple of citations. So here's what she was explaining to me, that she was a graduate student at Columbia University in her final semester of this PhD program on urban planning, that she had been out of the country during the entirety of those encampments. And on April 30th, she said she came back to the U.S. She was in a picnic that same day with friends and family, who we've corroborated with at least one of her friends that was the case, and that when she was coming back to campus, and I remember the mayhem that day. That was the day that students took over occupied Hamilton Hall, and at around 9:30 p.m., she was trying to access her apartment. She was trying to come in from different places. She says they were asking her for a rental agreement to show that, in fact, she lived there. She didn't have it with her. Her phone was dead. Anyway, in all of that confusion, she was taken in along with the protesters and cited for a couple of citations, including like obstructing the sidewalk and not dispersing. But those citations were dismissed. DHS is saying that because she didn't, when she renewed her visa, her student visa in December, because she didn't reveal that to the government, even though they were dismissed, she thought, look, if there's no conviction, if this was just dismissed, why should I report it to the government? That is why they're revoking her visa under the same provision that they used for Khalil. But she says she was not a major protester in any way, and certainly not a Hamas sympathizer, as Secretary of DHS Kristi Noem has accused her of.
Yeah, so that's what the statement from DHS says, which is that she supported, and this is using their language, supported Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, and that they have video. Have you seen any evidence of that?
There is a video that's going around that I asked her about. I asked her attorneys. They've all said that is not her. It's of a woman.
A brown woman
who is. I don't know exactly what the video says, but it was shared in Al Jazeera at some point. But the point is that she's saying that's not me. Her attorneys are saying that is not her. And are they just picking any video of a brown woman to say that it's me, and how unfair that is, that she has never supported Hamas? She said, look, I've signed some petitions calling for peace in Gaza, like so many people around the world, and that she participated in protests like the Women's March. And at some protests, she says, not on campus, not at the height of the encampments, that she wasn't part of the encampments. This is all that what she's saying, and her attorneys are supporting, but that she's certainly not a Hamas sympathizer.
So, Lilia, the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, has suggested that people should self-deport, and she mocked the whole concept of deportations by saying, so that you don't end up in one of these fun videos, right? But I wonder, this young woman, did she self-deport? Was she afraid of what was happening?
She was very afraid of what was happening. She said, look, I don't consider it self-deporting. ICE came knocking without a warrant. I was scared. I knew that her visa was revoked from one day to the next without an explanation, so she left. She says she did not use any app, and she didn't consider it self-deporting. She's trying to fight to come back.
Wow. All right. How did you find her, Lilia? Great reporting.
Well, I have to thank our booking unit for a group team effort in talking to her.
Yeah. Excellent work, as always, my friend. Thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.